about this particular excuse me, about this particular event. It is our 17th year of having this franchise, and this year it will happen on the 5th. This is coming Saturday at the Two Rivers Mall, and with a record 37 participants.
So Saturday is when you're crowning the next Mr. and Miss World Kenya.
Yes.
2019.
2019-2020.
Yes. Now, having been the franchise owner, what is so special and different from this year from the other 16 years?
It's a journey. It's always a journey. Every year is better, has its own challenges and successes. And this year, we've managed to get many partners on board whom I'd like to take this early opportunity to thank them, courtesy of Leah Client Services. And more people are believing in our cause, because this is really a journey to help the youth achieve their talents. Like looking at Kula here, I am so proud of him, the journey he has made, how he has made Kenya proud, how he's an icon to the youth. For me, that is what makes this journey worth it. Yeah.
Now, there could be a few people who are listening in, so the wise ones who are listening in might get a sneak peek into the exam.
Yes.
What is it that you look for in a successful candidate? What makes a good model, be it male or female?
Okay, first and foremost is a character, which we always hope to see, to have a sneak preview during boot camp, because like I said about Kula being a moral icon, is that person who other youth can emulate. Apart from the international standards of the body size and everything else, the most important is also the heart of the person, because beauty is skin deep. Yeah, what is it that you're looking for? Why do you want this crown? Do you want it just for fame, or is it that you want it as a platform to change other people's lives?
So Terry, how do you know the genuine contestants who are not here for the fame and the beauty and the looks? How do you know the genuine ones?
That is why we put them in a boot camp, to try and learn them. And I think first 2 days one can fake it, the third and the fourth you have a sneak preview of the person, and then we encourage them to tell us about their life journeys. And you can actually tell some people who are genuine and some that are not. Yeah.
So Robert, what's next for you? So come Saturday when you're giving away your title, so Sunday you probably sleep in. Come Monday, what do you do? What do you do? What's next for you?
I think it's going to take a while before I get used to the fact that I'm no longer the crown holder. But what I would like to say is, as much as it's just a year of holding the crown, this is something that follows your life right after. So it's not like on Sunday I will put everything down and start showing up like a normal Kenyan citizen. No. I still have my initiative that I still have to follow through, because it's something that I've been passionate about even way before the crown. What the crown did is it gave me a platform to reach out to even more people, to let people know what I'm about, to let people into my life.
Could you tell us more about that initiative that you're talking about, the project?
Yeah, so my initiative is based on wildlife. I've always had a passion for animals since I was a little kid. And what I'm doing is something called One of a Kind. Basically what it does is I'm trying to tell the stories of young Kenyan guys and young Kenyan boys and girls who have taken their time to actually do something to change the world in terms of environment and animals.
Right.
Yes.
Right. There was a little lady about 3 months ago. She was outside Parliament protesting for a clean environment.
Those are the people I'm looking for.
Young voices on climate change.
Yes.
All right. So then, Terry, at the end of the day, what happens? Because my other question would be, 17 years into this, that means those are about 17 individuals, approximately, who have different projects and different things that they're passionate about. So how do we make sure that the influence, that the sort of the philanthropy work that they're doing in society continues way after their crown?
Yeah, few of those out of the 17 have continued. And I like what Kula has said. And I want even to say in this interview that Kula is one of the young people that we will not let go. We will not let go. We'll walk with him because he can also walk with the other incoming king and queen because of his passion. And just as he does his project, and that is what we call upon even the corporate world, to work with these young people, because what they intend to do is to make Kenya a better place.
Right.
And for youth to see there are different things that you can do in your life to achieve your goals. As you help others, you help yourself. And
okay, so Robert, break down for me some of the male stereotypical excuses that are outside there about our male models that you've heard even with your 2 years of reigning. What is it that you've heard when it comes to male stereotypical pageantry, and how we can begin to break down that?
Some of the stereotypes that I've had is that it's weird for a man to be showing his beauty on a stage. That is something that should be left for the females. But then that is where I say there's a big misconception about pageants. Pageants, like Madame said, is skin deep. The beauty is not just what you see. Because basically at the end of the day, like when we went for a competition, we had over 80 very good looking men. But what separates them? If the judgment is just based on looks, you will really not get a winner. What separates them is the character. What separates them is the personality. So there's a way more into it than just what you see, the physical beauty. And another thing that I've had is, oh, Kula, you're not very tall. Kula, you have too much beard for a pageant. Or Kula, you are too built for a pageant. And again, it goes back to the same thing. You might not be the tallest person, but your personality speaks louder than your height.
Okay.
So it's way more beyond the physical attributes.
So how did you convince your family and your friends? How did you, especially family, how do you convince your parents that, you know, I would like to give this a shot. I would like to try it. There could be a male viewer who's like, I would really love to try my foot into this. How do I begin to have this conversation with my parents?
My parents, I was raised by a single mother.
Shout out to her.
Yes, who has been really supportive in my journey, in everything that I've done in life. I would not say I'm the most conventional person. I choose my path and I follow through with it, and I put my discipline and dedication to it. And I think she has seen that when I put my heart into something, it's something that I've thought about. It's the journey I want to go, and she knows there will be results to it. Right. So she's super supportive. And the same thing I would say is parents out there who have young kids, the formal jobs are actually running out. The formal jobs, the normal 8 to 5 suit jobs are running out. You've got to be able to support your kids' dreams, because life is diversifying. Right. So if we are not able to look at other opportunities of being able to make it in life, we are going to be stuck. Terry,
as a franchise owner, how would you advise someone to go about this conversation with their family, with their folks?
Actually, times have changed. We actually don't even have to convince. We have parents who call to ask when is the next pageant. Because what people forget, it's not even the eventual winners that benefit from this platform. It's anybody who comes onto that platform, because the skills that Kula has talked about in the boot camp is not taught only to the winners, it's taught to every contestant, which makes them better prepared for their lives. If you're still a student in campus, you go back a different person, a bold person, a focused person, knowing that etiquette, knowing how a public speaking. When you eventually go for an interview, you do better than the rest who did not have the opportunity to be on the platform. The other thing is that, and courtesy of Royal Media Services, these people are having opportunity to be seen on TV, live TV, and as they get seen, people are scouting different faces for their projects. May it be fashion industry, may it be even for the TV and radio. And the fashion industry has grown out of this. Advertising, we see all the billboards that we see around Kenya. About 70% are people who have been on the platform. They would never have been scouted if they then never had this opportunity. So what we are doing, we are creating jobs, and parents like myself and others see that, and you want an opportunity for your daughter, for your son. Now it's no longer, please come and participate. Actually, like this particular one, 250 young men and women came out to audition. And we only had to choose 40 of them because we couldn't choose more than that. So people understand, parents understand that this platform is opening doors for them.
Wow.
And even as the government talks about jobs, we are doing a lot of that and helping them to create those job opportunities, because many jobs have been created, many lives have been changed out of this platform, and we thank God for that.
And we'll definitely talk about that, the beauty industry, the opportunities that it has, the challenges that are there, and how it can be a source of income for a few young Kenyans. We'll touch on that in a little bit, but I want to talk about self-esteem.
Yes.
Self-esteem, because this is an issue that is clearly connected with the beauty industry, the pageant industry. So Terry, how do you begin to advise? And I want to be even more specific with this question. How do you begin to build the confidence of a young black male and female individual who they feel that they're too dark, or they're too tall, they're too built, what you just told me, or a girl who feels like that she's too short or too tall, or too brown, or too dark, or too voluptuous, or the opposite, you know? How do you begin to build your self-esteem, especially in this day and age with Instagram and hashtag this and that?
Okay. One of the things that we do when they come onto the boot camp is start talking into their self-esteem.
Okay.
And of course, by being in the boot camp, you are already, there's something that we have seen in you, not only because of your skin color. There is more to it. And once you come into the boot camp, we start talking to you. You're beautiful, you're fearfully and wonderfully made. And this is an opportunity for you to change your life. And we're talking to them about, forget just the physical look, because you've already passed that stage. You're here because you already look good. What about the inner beauty? The inner beauty that will last. It's not about your body size, because at the end of the day, like I said, the beneficiaries of this platform is not just the eventual winner. It is everybody who moves along, and that is why they live so charged, knowing who they are, irrespective whether they win or they don't win. And we have had people who try 2-3 times and they eventually get the crown.
So Robert, how did you handle self-esteem? How did you build up your self-esteem? I'm sure you weren't always this confident. Or were you? I could be wrong. Maybe you are. By the way.
It's a process. It takes time. It's not, you do not, like we know the stereotype, when you know you're going to compete against white people, we have this stereotype of believing that, or thinking that, you know, like you say, you're too dark, you're too this, you're too this. But then during boot camp, and when you win, you have people who are holding your hand, trying to tell you that, you know what, beauty is not just what people see, because people will really forget about that real quick. You have to leave an impression on someone. And then they will see you as a very attractive person. Because again, like, you know, the slogan to Mr. and Miss World is beauty with a purpose. So the purpose is in bold. The purpose is what represents the beauty. So for me, it was quite easy, because I could easily embrace that, in the sense that I knew what I stood for. And I knew that if people would look at me beyond how short Kula is, how bearded Kula is, even though beard is the in thing right now.
It is,
and
it is.
One thing I would like to really insist on, is, when I was about 17 years old, I had an issue with my skin tone. I thought I was too dark. All the young girls were running after the brown boys. And at that point, I really wished I was lighter. But as I grew into a man, I came to understand that your skin defines who you are. And I would never wish to be even a tone lighter than I am.
Good for you, Robert.
Right now, I really love my skin. And I wish everybody else would be very comfortable with the skin that they have. Yeah.
Good for you, Robert.
Yeah.
All right, we're back with Terry and Robert. We were having an interesting conversation behind the scene, and allow me to just pick it up and continue from there. I promised you we would discuss the sort of challenges but opportunities also in the beauty industry. Terry, I might want to start on a negative note, so let me start with the positive.
Yes.
The beauty industry in Kenya, even on the African continent, really paint for me an image of how big it is and how it can be an answer to probably even some of the problems that we're having in community, e.g. unemployment amongst young people.
Great. Like we say, this is beauty with a purpose. It gives you a platform to achieve what you want to be in your life. We have had different participants on the platform who have gone on even to be doctors, their own business entrepreneurs. We've had people who have gone out of the country and they are high flyers, high fashion. We have like our own recent Jeruto, Meglin Jeruto, who is working with KTB. She's all over the world, either for KTB or for herself modeling. And that is why we say the billboards that you see in the country, around the counties, are filled with contestants who graced the platform, not necessarily the kings and the queens who won the crown. So, and even for beauty industry, the cosmetic world, they scout for these faces to use them as their brand ambassadors, because they are already confident, they look good, they walk good, and employment has been created. Many jobs have been created.
From a business perspective, what are some of the stereotypes that people have when it comes to the mindset that they have towards business within the beauty industry?
I think that has changed along the years. That everybody now, irrespective of where they are in life, appreciate beauty. Not necessarily just the makeup and everything, just the outlook of somebody who understands how beautiful they are. Yeah, beautiful, that it is their beauty that is not just the face and the makeup, the fearfully and wonderfully made.
I mean, Terry, I may not have you here on set again in a bit longer, so I have to ask you, being a franchise owner of Mr. and Miss World Kenya, Mr. and Miss World Kenya, that's not easy. That's not an easy journey. Being the franchise owner of a specific brand, it's not easy. Take me through that journey a bit, just in about 60 seconds or so. It is not easy, and I agree with you. And like I said, it's been a journey. And when we got it in 2002, I wasn't sure I wanted it. Why? Because it was not as glamorous as it looks today. And I was approached by Miss World and as a company, and they asked whether I wanted the franchise, and my name had been given by some of the past contestants who were not happy with what was happening then. And because I had been a sponsor as Ashley's to two of the Miss Worlds, 1999 and 2001, I wasn't sure that I wanted it after seeing the setup and everything that was happening then. So it was a soul-searching moment of whether I needed to do it. Believe me or not, I went to my pastor to ask, what would you think and what do you think? Is this a good thing to have? And he said, sure, there's nothing God will allow you to have if he doesn't have a purpose for it. If you don't, what don't you like about it? And I said, A, B, C, D. And he said, yeah, it's time for you to change. Yeah, to change and turn it around to be a respectable event, because beauty is God-given. Beauty is in the Bible. The first beauty pageant happened in the Bible through Queen Esther, who changed a generation. So you're being given a mantle
to change a generation and make it respectable, where people will be asking to come and not shying away.
So what's one of your biggest business lessons? What's your business advice to perhaps a young person who would also want to, you know, put their foot into the beauty industry? What's some of the biggest lessons you've learned so far?
That there's no challenge that you cannot surmount. Yeah, every challenge, if you take it by the bull, the horns, you will be able to turn it around. If it is Mr. and Miss World Kenya franchise, that today we don't look for contestants, they look for us. Anything can change. And even getting corporates to come and want to be associated with us, that was never the case. We knocked doors, we begged. Today people see the value and they want to be associated with it. Does it make money? I know you wanted to ask me that. Does it make money? No. Actually, Ashley's supports the franchise. And other corporates when they come on board. And why do we continue? Because this is a question that I get even from my family members. Why do you do this? It only eats into the profits of Ashley's. And I say it's a platform to change lives. It is like our CSR thing that we use, and when I see the lives that get transformed, when the causes that are championed, like the way we don't even hear about jiggers anymore, it's like almost eradicated because of this platform. When we think of people, parents who used to hide their children because they had cleft lip and palate. And through this platform, we were able to sensitize parents that it is something that is correctable. And many and thousands of children have been corrected, and they are now living their lives like other normal children. When I see that happen, autism that we have also championed, widow cleansing that we have also championed, the wildlife thing, this young man here, apart from the wildlife thing, he also has a heart of orphaned children. He gives food to the orphaned children. When I see that happening, you cannot equate it with profits. It's life-changing, it's life-fulfilling, and that is why this journey is on and will continue.
Correct. All right, so Robert, we need to wrap up the conversation. Tell me a little bit about Saturday. I know it's going to be happening at Two Rivers.
Yes.
Do we have any artists who will be performing? Tickets for the prizes, etc.
Yeah, so it's going to be on Saturday. The event is starting at 5 p.m. It's going to be an amazing evening. We have Moji performing, and of course my all-time favorite, OG Calligraph Jones will be in the building as well. That's something Madame doesn't know anything about. Definitely, I'm looking forward to it. He's one of my best artists, and for the record, he actually supported me in my journey. He posted me, told Kenyans to follow me, to vote for me, and of course I want to return the love back.
So will you also be lending a hand to someone, to one of your favorite contestants?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I have a favorite contestant. I feel like they all deserve it. I feel like they all deserve it. I've met them. They're quite very handsome gentlemen. So I would just say, may the best guy win. May the best guy win. So you're looking forward to an amazing evening with full of entertainment. And guys, show up in numbers. Come and witness the most good-looking people in Kenya, basically.
All right. So while I still have you in closing remarks, perhaps your advice as well.
My advice as well. Before I jump to my advice, I'll quickly say that I want to really appreciate Kenyans for the love they showed me, all the support, all the vote. It was overwhelming. The international world was actually shocked at how Kenyans were backing me up. And one thing they said is, if they will not believe in you if your own country doesn't believe in you, first of all. So I would urge them to continue with the same support on the next guy and the next girl who's going to win. The national support is very important internationally. And my advice to the next guy who wins is, it's not a bed of roses. Once you win, you don't sit back and you start looking good. The work begins immediately you have the crown.
Wow.
It's going to be a tough journey, but we believe the next guy who wins will perform even better than I did.
All right, beautiful. Terry, your closing remarks.
Yeah, first and foremost, I also want to echo Kula's sentiments, the support that we have had from Kenyans, from the corporate world, and also the government has finally come on board. So we are happy to say that we are happy that the government, through the initiative of His Excellency the President, has rallied the Ministry of Culture and Gender and Youth, because they have finally realize what this does for the youth. At least when it comes to the international pageant, they support us to send our representatives. For Kenyans, I'm urging you, there are 37 young, good-looking young people who are looking forward to seeing you at the event, you cheering them on, and the tickets are on sale. Particularly today, there will be a flash sale that if you look on the social media, you can purchase tickets at a throwaway price and come and support our young people. Be part of this big celebration of beauty of our young people. See you at Two Rivers Mall, and thank you for all the sponsors that have come on board, and particularly RMS. Thank you very much for giving us this platform and believing in this brand for the last 17 years.
Well, thank you, Terry, for what you're doing for Kenyans in the beauty industry and beyond as well.